Previously on WFX Overload.
Mentallo, your tag team match is next here at the tournament. We still don't know who your partner is going to be, so what's the secret? Who's your partner?
Do you want to know who my partner is? Do you want me to tell you who my partner is going to be? Well, I could tell you now, but why ruin the surprise?
One brutal son of a gun. I said it earlier.
He has some of the meanest chops going.
Corbin's in a lot of trouble here.
What is this?
Wow. What is going on? And those big forearms to the head had just clubbed him. And where the heck is Mercury? I think he's injured.
It's over. It doesn't matter. Here we go again, Mike. This is their finishing maneuver.
Oh my!
This does not.
Bob Holly! Bob Holly! Bob Holly is in WFX.
What is Bob Holly doing?
Well, he's cleaning house is what he's doing.
He nailed Gangrel. He's nailing Thorn.
Look at the people go nuts for Bob Holly.
Apoc tried, but to no avail. Holly coming out of nowhere.
Listen to the chant for Bob Holly.
Alabama slam coming up.
Oh, he nailed him. Well, this has just gotten interesting here. The CastGoodPointsBad.com main event. Bob Holly is now. He too much.
What? Who turned out the lights?
We've been having technical problems for weeks about this.
What is going on?
Something has happened. We're having a power outage.
So, what are the people chanting?
I don't know.
I can't see anything, Mike.
The lights are back. Sabu!
Oh my God! It's Sabu, Mike! Sabu coming out of the darkness, if you will, and maybe that's exactly what was needed against the Brotherhood.
Well, this guy is not he fears nothing. Neither does Bob Holly.
So you want to interfere in our business, Holly? And then you think you want to interfere in our business with him, Sabu?
Get to the point.
Simple. There used
Why didn't you talk in the interview in the backstage?
We knew so well.
Well, I guess now he feels he's got something to say. He was attacked.
That's not it anymore. It's WFX. And tonight, WFX gets extreme. Me and Gangrel versus Holly and Sabu. Anything goes.
I don't think that this is called bait and switch. He does not plan to do that here. Well, they have the chance. They had the chance right there, and they backed away. They're not going to do it.
Sabu is a king.
See, and then he walks away.
Of hardcore.
Makes the challenge and then walks off.
And Bob Holly is no stranger to hardcore as well. We know that.
Let's take a moment to review the WFX One World Tag Team Tournament to crown the first ever Tag Team Champions. The first match, bracket 1, was Midwest Ground and Air. That's Nate Bash and Benjamin Saylor. They took on the team of Kevin Chevy and AJ Sanchez. Sanchez and Chevy had a distinct size advantage, and they used it to their complete benefit as they were able to beat the team from the Midwestern United States, aptly named Midwest Ground and Air. This team has dominated tag teams now going on for about 8 weeks. They've been virtually unbeatable using that devastating finishing maneuver, and Nate Bass got to see that firsthand as it was short work. It was Chevy who pinned Nate Bash. And they advanced to the second round with that victory.
Kevin Chevy!
And they would face the tag team that would win bracket number 2. And bracket number 2 was the Brotherhood team of Apoc and Thorn against the Brothers in Flight, who are Eclipse and Camikazee. And Danny Duggan was a big factor in this match. He came out, he's been a victim of the Brotherhood for weeks now, but he provided enough of a distraction that Eclipse and Camikazee were able to hit a double fisherman suplex. And it was Apoc losing to Eclipse and a shocking upset as Eclipse and Camikazee, Brothers in Flight, advance to the second round where they'll take on Chevy and Sanchez. The next match in the tournament was Darren Corbin and Eric Cannon, who are an interesting tag team, taking on Team Elgin, who was Alex Plexus making his debut, and Michael Elgin. But Alex Plexus really came up on the short end of the stick, getting a brainbuster he'll never forget, or maybe never remember, depending on how you look at it. Eric Cannon was able to pin him, and they will advance to the second round. And Their opponents would be the winners of the last bracket, and this match had main event written all over it in every language you could ever decipher. That bracket 4 of round 1 was internationally recognized tag team Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, and Mentalo, both well-schooled in Japanese wrestling, against the Davaris. Interesting matchup that was. Sean Davari is a former X Division champion, as is Chris Daniels. And this match was nothing but pure science. It was marvelous how these two teams battled. But in the end, it was Mentalo and Chris Daniels who would be superior, thanks to Christopher Daniels, who was making his WFX debut. He really carried the load for his team and found an interesting victim in Arya Davari, Prince Arya Davari, who was just ripe for the picking. And he took it bad. He took the split-legged moonsault or something like that. And it was 1, 2, 3. Daniels and Mentalo completed the first round with that big victory. And now it'll be Daniels and Mentalo against Cannon and Corbin. It'll be Chevy and Sanchez versus the Brothers in Flight in round 2.
Things are heating up here in the tag team tournament. Mike, hello everybody. Dave Thomas and alongside Mike.
You know, you could thank me for doing the review all alone there. You sat there quietly and let me talk for about 3 minutes straight.
I was drinking my soda, but I was so excited because, like you've talked about so many days, so many shows in the past, the best tag teams in the world right here at WFX.
Well, you don't say. Speaking of best, the guy who calls himself the greatest wrestler in the world is Charlie Haas. And that's what he calls himself. And he's finally put together a great athlete, an amazing talent in the ring. He's scientifically amazing in the ring. And I wouldn't want to be his opponent to kick off Overload this week, I'll tell you that.
Well, certainly a sound athlete nonetheless. And you're right, if anybody's going to claim to be the greatest wrestler in the world, Charlie Haas is the guy that can back it up, in my opinion.
Yeah, but there is an amazing rivalry right now. Two guys who want to be the top guy in WFX. Charlie Haas and Kip. And I'll tell you something about Charlie is he lost his debut to Kip, and it haunts
his opponent.
You're right, Mike, and you know, things might be heating up in the tag team tournament, but let's not forget things heating up in the singles division as well.
Well, and you look at Wavell Star, he is absolutely no slouch. Well put together athlete, an amazing role model for Aboriginal youth all over the world. This guy is so good. He is just amazing.
Well, this is
I've said amazing a lot already on this episode.
Well, I'm amazed you were able to say amazing as much as you did, and I'll tell you what else is amazing. This is not just going to be a test for Wavell Star. In my opinion, this will be a true test for Charlie Haas, because as great of a wrestler as he is, Wavell Star is a top superstar here in WFX, and I don't think these two have ever faced one another before in their past, and I don't know if Charlie Haas has done his homework on Wavell Star.
An interesting fact, Charlie Haas is 0-1 in WFX. If he goes to 0-2, I just don't think WFX management will have much use for the man, because who needs a superstar who gets treated like a superstar, gets paid like a superstar, gets flown around like a superstar? Who is losing?
Well, if he claims to be the world's greatest wrestler, he better not be 0-2.
What? And an intense son of a gun. He was just in Wavell's grill saying, "Your Bush League." That's amazing. Gotta love the attitude. Gotta love the edge.
Well, he's putting it all on the line. Let's say at 0-1, he better be able to back up what he can say, and I believe he can.
Well, we'll see in the lush. Referee Kenny Rogers.
Come on now.
He's holding onto the top rope because he can barely stand up straight because he's been drinking all day.
Why is it every time referee Kenny Rogers is in the ring, you make comments about some sort of drinking?
You know, I'm going to tell you what the guys know. The talent knows. There is talent that refuses to get in the ring with Kenny Rogers because they think he's drunk and unsafe as a referee. Because he's staggering, he's going to fall over on them.
You know, I've been backstage before these events, Mike, and I'll tell you, granted, I've never seen Kenny Rogers, but how can you don't have any proof?
Let me tell you something. One of the prankers in the back, that Eric Cannon fellow, was talking about taking baby oil, putting it in his vodka bottle, and letting him drink that and see how that'll affect him.
Well,
and I kid you not, I'm just telling you what I heard.
Let me just say for the record that we here at WFX do not condone. We don't condone that either. We don't condone alcoholic consumption during an event where you're a participant. I mean, this is not, say, this is a sporting event. You know, this is athletic activity. You can't be involved in something like that.
I just saw Kenny Rogers hop and skip around the ring. He's the happiest he's ever been because he's had a few drinks.
You know,
happy hour is every hour for Kenny Rogers.
You know, once again, Mike, it's really, you know, unless you've got something to back this up, you should not be making comments about that. That could be considered slanderous or libel. I mean, you don't want to get into that kind of thing here with any of the officials in WFX.
You see? Just watch. Look at Michael Elgin now.
Oh! That is an unfair advantage going to the team of Haas and Elgin, if you will. I call him a team because it's like having a partner on the floor. He just gave Wavell Star a back suplex, if you will, or dropped it right on the guardrail.
Well, the thing with Michael Elgin is he's got this hero worship thing happening for Charlie Haas, where he wants to be there and learn from him. He even grew a beard like him. Wait a minute, maybe Michael Elgin had the beard first, but they have matching beards.
So just because they have matching beards, I'm not even going to go there.
In this day and age, not many people have beards, so when two guys have it, they're matching.
Those, once again, folks, are the comments of Mike Davidson, and I think what's important is we should actually get back to calling the action in the ring, as we can see Charlie Haas taking every advantage he can by using the bottom rope, utilizing that as a weapon, if you will, and laying Wavell Star's throat right across the bottom rope.
I think I might have already mentioned this, but Charlie Haas is the most intense individual in all of WFX.
Oh, belly to back. Intensity is his middle name if he's not calling himself the world's greatest wrestler, and only a 2 count, as referee Kenny Rogers, in my opinion, got over there very quickly to make that count, Mike.
He probably thought there was a bottle of booze in it for him.
Come on now.
That's all I'm saying. That's not an enviable position for Wavell Star to be in, by the way.
No, a lot of people don't realize this, that, you know, reverse chinlock is extremely painful.
He does it even better than most because he drives his knee to the middle of the back.
Exactly. He's got the knee right in the center of the back. It's a wear-down hold, and if your opponent has already been compromised throughout the match, that type of maneuver is just going to make his windpipe almost diminish.
Last week, Charlie Haas said something about being in WFX, and he loves the company. Don't get this wrong. Just because he hates the people that he has to wrestle against, Charlie Haas wants... He said for 5 years he hadn't had fun in wrestling, and then he comes here and he's having fun beating people up. He just does not. He wants his opponents to know that he has to hate them to beat them up. He has to hate them to beat them.
Ooh. Right now I have a feeling he's hating being on the receiving end of a Wavell Star chop. And you're right, Mike.
How many is he going to give him?
I don't think we can count that high.
Has anyone ever won a match after a chop?
Not yet.
Oh!
Then again,
that's
what about the great Wahoo McDaniels? That was his finishing maneuver, the big chop.
No, Wavell's hero is Wahoo McDaniel, I'm sure. Ow! 5 in a row!
You know, it's echoing here across the arena, and I'm sure you folks at home can hear it too. But thank goodness you're not sitting there on the receiving end.
Wavell's actually impressed me in this match. It's been all Wavell.
Wavell has been taken to Charlie. Now, wait a minute. What is going on? Kenny Rogers being distracted. Elgin up on the apron, and Wavell Star not happy about that either.
And you see Charlie Haas taking the advantage of having Michael Elgin at ringside, because he might have been all done after that tomahawk chop.
What is going on here? Oh
my, he tapped right away. Ow!
That is
He's
called.
Tapping, Kenny.
That is
called for the bell.
He is called for
the
bell.
But the Lush couldn't tell.
No,
All
come
you
on.
could see was Wavell tapping it, and the Lush couldn't see him.
Charlie Haas not releasing the hold. That hold is
he
called.
Instantaneously was tapping, because that was risk of putting out a shoulder or breaking a neck.
Charlie Haas calls that maneuver the Haas of pain, and obviously from Wavell Star tapping instantaneously, that is exactly what it is.
He was tapping the second Haas had locked it in. The second.
Very, very impressive finishing maneuver, and Charlie Haas making a name for himself.
I'm going to say this right now. If Wavell Star is injured from being in that too long after he was tapping, Kenny Rogers he won't be able to afford his next drink.
Now, come on. Kenny Rogers called for the bell. Charlie Haas would not release the hold. He would not release the hold, Mike.
You know what? If this had been a football game and the ref hadn't blown the whistle and a fumble had occurred, you better believe the ref would be reprimanded and fined. He should be here too. And look at him strut out like he just doesn't care, Kenny. He's gonna go have a drink with Addison or something.
I don't think that Michael Elgin would allow that.
I hope not.
Wavell Star, nonetheless.
Somebody's got to intervene.
Yeah, Wavell Star, nonetheless, a great showing, but as you can tell, he is the worse for wear after that maneuver. The house of pain, pardon me, is what Charlie calls that, and a good round of applause for Wavell Star, nonetheless.
Check out WFXWrestling.com.
It's funny how worlds come in full circle. It's funny how sometimes you think you won't ever see a person again, and there he is again in your presence. Hardcore Holly, Sabu. Here we are again. Here we are again. Brothers, bound by a pact that we will do anything and everything to our bodies. Bound by a pact to be hardcore. But gentlemen, what you did is you walked into something that you never should have walked into. You stuck your noses in a place they need not belong. It's a funny thing. It's a funny thing about being brothers. We can call you brothers, and you face the brotherhood. But see, the worst thing about being brothers is, it's not a world war. It's not just a war. It's a civil war. Brothers against brothers, with no rules, no regulations, only the sheer fact of pride and prejudice. Prejudice against losing, prejudice against letting you win. Gentlemen, tonight, blood will be spilled, blood will flow, and there will no longer be homicidal, suicidal monikers. No, it'll be simply genocidal, because we will wipe what existence you have off the map.
Whoa, easy. It's gonna just be a friendly conversation, short and sweet. What are you doing? What are you doing? Putting all your hopes, your dreams, everything you've worked hard to get to where you are right now, you're gonna invest that into Kip? He's a has-been. He's gonna destroy every opportunity you have. I know, he's done it to me. Speaking of opportunity, I'm gonna give you an opportunity of a lifetime. How would you like to study under me? I could be your mentor. I could teach you where to go and how to get there. I am the world's greatest wrestler. This is the opportunity you don't want to turn down.
Wow. Thanks, Haas. But wasn't it 2 weeks ago that Kip beat you?
You know what? No, I'm gonna go with a proven winner on this one.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mentolo and Christopher Daniels defeated the Davares. That to end in round one, and round two starts now. We're going to see the team of Kevin Chevy and AJ Sanchez in action, and they are taking on the Brothers in Flight.
And Kevin Chevy and AJ Sanchez beat the Brothers in Flight already. The Brothers in Flight upset the Brotherhood in round one. So this one, the winner of this match goes to the tournament final and a chance to win the first ever WFX One World Tag Team Championship. And you got to wonder, do the Brothers in Flight have one more upset in them, or is it going to be this team that's been utterly dominant in WFX as a tag team. Can they keep going as an undefeated tag team?
They have been unstoppable. You're right, and you forgot to mention.
I said undefeated, not unstoppable.
Well, undefeated and unstoppable, but you forgot to mention.
I didn't say they weren't unstoppable. I said they were undefeated.
Nonetheless, Mike, you forgot to mention the Brothers in Flight had a bit of an assist in their victory over the Brotherhood from Danny Duggan.
I said that earlier. I said Danny Duggan played a major part in that match.
Yeah, but you didn't remind the people
You aren't
she did.
listening to me this week, and it's driving me nuts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Davidson is being driven nuts by yours truly, I guess.
Yes, Dave Thomas, you are driving me nuts.
Speaking of driving nuts, what about our next tag team match? What about that?
I've already talked about the Brothers in Flight and their big upset in round one.
No, I'm talking about the next tag team tournament match that's going to come up.
Let's talk about this one first and not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, I was trying to segue away from you.
I will say something about this. I'm a guy that likes a good physique on a wrestler. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but this Eclipse fella, he's got a good physique. This Eclipse fella.
Remember, their names are on the back of their trunks, Mike.
Well, in Eclipse's case, I don't look at the back of their trunks.
You just said you like a good physique. That's what I thought you're talking about.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Well, Eclipse does have his name.
Kamikaze has nothing on the back of his trunks, not that I checked.
Well, he used to have another set of trunks,
If I was Chevy, I'd go and punt Kamikaze for
come on
ridiculing.
now. The match hasn't even started.
I don't think that bothers Kevin Chevy. He's the type of guy who'll take a head start.
There's definitely no shortage of shortcuts in their arsenal. Tag team action underway. This is the first match, like we talked about, in round 2 of the One World Tag Team Tournament.
There's a lot of factors that go into Chevy and Sanchez's early success in WFX. A lot of people talk about size advantage. I'm going to say deceptive size advantage. These two larger individuals look like they might not be agile, but you see them in action, and man, can they move.
I can't believe that Kamikaze...
Okay, come on now. Kelly Russell has got to say... Now, the guy on the outside is not supposed to be throwing shots. Oh! Uh-oh. Oh, no. Kevin Chevy just pancaked his partner.
That backfired drastically. And
yes, sir. I think he knows he hit his own partner. Oh! That was very inventive.
Very innovative, if you will.
That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Oh!
Did you see the angle crack on the top of the ring barricade? I think Chevy could have snapped an ankle.
I think he's injured. Oh! Yes, he's definitely injured.
Wow. High flying maneuver by Kamikaze.
He's favoring that.
That's just looked like his left ankle. It was the Achilles heel. It looked like might have hit. I didn't quite see that, but I could hear it across the arena.
It's actually the Frankfurt tendon that he's messed up.
Is that what it is?
Named after the famous city in Germany.
I see.
I know it well.
The tendon or the city?
Both.
Okay. A little bit of a handspring elbow.
No,
and an assist with a
Chevy
knee.
still hasn't caught. He is in a lot of pain at ringside, and distinct advantage to the Brothers in Flood. I think they could pull this one off because Sanchez is basically in a handicap match right now.
It looks that way. I see Chevy has still not quite made it to his feet after that.
Yes, he did. And excuse the pun, he took the feet right out from under Kamikaze.
Why do you find that funny? Because you enjoy double teaming. You enjoy illegal activities behind the referee's back, Mike. That's what it is. You like to see that kind of underhanded cheating that Sanchez and Chevy are so good at, and that's why you think it's funny.
No, because I spot the game. Chevy's playing possum. He's not even hurt, I doubt.
Well, I saw his ankle crack on that ring barricade, and I can tell you this.
I heard it. It
exactly.
Sound good. A sick. Oh!
The agility of a 300-pound man to do that is
323, actually. That's what he tipped the
me.
scales at today after a couple of Baconators from Wendy's.
Only a couple?
Two doubles is like having 4 regular-sized burgers.
Wow. Setting him up for a double Beal. Oh, man, he set him right up.
See, Chevy was playing possum, I told you.
Well, he doesn't seem to. Well, he's favoring the ankle a little bit, but you're right. Maybe there was a bit of playing possum in there, but that shows the intestinal fortitude of being able to survive that crack on the barricade. And in comes Kamikaze. You're going to need a little more than a double clothesline from him. Wow! Innovative high-flying dropkick maneuver. Enziguri to the back of the head.
Is it an enziguri when you don't plant the leg first?
Maybe. Double suplex.
That's how they beat the Brotherhood. 1, 2, oh! I thought they had him there. I was sure of it.
Setting him up now on the top.
Oh!
Swanton.
That could be all. I think the Brothers in Fight are going to pull their second upset. Yes, yeah. Oh!
1 second away from another upset, but you're right, Mike. It was amazing.
They are the Cinderella story right now. It's like watching Game 7 of the World Series. And they've got their closer in to win the game.
Oh, no. What is this maneuver? Innovative in
Oh! Oh!
I don't think he's going to kick out of that, Mike.
But maybe Kamikaze will save the day, yes!
Wow. I think referee Kelly Russell has lost control there. I mean,
he never had any kind of control. He's a submissive referee.
I think you're right on that count.
He's not even trying to get one of them out of there. That's the problem with this guy. He doesn't care about the rules.
Well, he's counting
He
now,
wears
but
the referee
too
shirt
little,
as a
too
fashion
late.
statement. See, this Chevy's in a lot of trouble because he snapped his ankle earlier. He should not be trying to go up on the ropes. It's a very, very ridiculous game plan on his part. Now he's in a lot of trouble.
Oh! A reverse hurricane from the second turnbuckle. I can't believe he picked him up. 350 pounds.
What did you say? Did you say finish him, Dave Thomas?
I said
You're
I
not
can't
supposed to be
believe it.
cheering. You're supposed to call it fair and square.
That was somebody in the front row, Mike. I said
It
I
sounded
can't
like it
believe
was you.
He's got to pin him to get.
He's got to pin him his right.
Yes. What happened to referee Kelly Russell?
No, Sanchez pulled him out.
He should be immediately disqualified for that. The fans not happy.
Kelly Russell had any, if he had a set, he would disqualify him, but he seems to want to give him some leniency here.
I'm not sure what the deal is, but you're right.
This has been an amazing match. Close fist, close fist. Nobody says a word. He's got his hand on the rope. See, Kelly Russell looked like he had 4, but Sanchez and Chevy are
Match filled with double teams, from both sides, and
that match would have went the other way.
You know what? Kelly Russell should have disqualified the team of Sanchez. And
If we talk about everything Kelly Russell did wrong in this match, we'll be talking for another 2 years.
I think I got to agree with you, Mike. It was not his best showing as a referee, but nonetheless, as you know, the referee's decision is always final. In this case, it means that Chevy and Sanchez advance to the finals of the One
but
World
for the
Tag Team
brothers in
Tournament.
fight, they got screwed.
They got screwed, but nonetheless, they advance.
I don't mind getting, I think that they deserve to get screwed, honestly. I like Chevy and Sanchez. This is good for me. For more on WFX, check out WFXWrestling.com.
What does it mean to me to be a part of WFX, a new fledgling company coming out of Winnipeg? Well, understand that wrestling companies, when they want to make an impact, they get the best wrestlers in the world. When Ring of Honor started up, and they wanted to tell the world that they were going to bring the best in-ring product to the US, they called Christopher Daniels. When TNA wanted to start up, and they wanted to show the world that they were going to inject adrenaline into a wrestling ring on a weekly pay-per-view basis, they called Christopher Daniels. So now, WFX, they want to make an impact in Canada. So what do? They get one of the best all-around wrestlers in the world today, the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Now, when I say that I've been around the world, that's not hyperbole, that's fact. Around the world, championships in every federation I've ever been in. And WFX, will be no exception. I'm here to win gold. I'm here to prove to the world, I'm here to prove to the fans of Canada that the fallen angel Christopher Daniels is one of the premier athletes in professional wrestling.
Welcome back, everyone, and we got a ladies match here, Mike, and I got to tell you, I don't know a thing about these girls.
I think that's not the first time you've admitted to not knowing a thing about girls.
What?
This is Tenille Tayla. Let me tell you about her. Beyond being piping hot,
Yes.
She's beloved. She's from is it a country or continent? Australia. I'm not sure. It's an island, I do know that. But that's where she's from, and I apologize to her and all her great fans from Australia. I'm a great fan of hers, a major league fan of hers. And so is Jack Daniels from Edmonton. He's a big fan of hers. He goes over the line in being a fan of hers. Well, she is perfect.
She is. And now that you mentioned being from Australia, if I recall correctly, Mike, I have learned a little bit about her. I did my research beforehand.
You looked at some pictures, didn't you?
I did. But I do know that she was trained by the great Lance Storm.
Correct.
And if anybody's going to train anybody in this business, Lance Storm is the guy to go to.
You know what? We've already established you're friends with him, so everything you say about Lance Storm falls on deaf ears to me.
Hey, I got to put him over.
Let's talk about Veronika Weiss.
That's who this is?
This girl has got attitude. You know what? If you're one of those guys that likes a girl who's, you know, kind of a mean to you and will break you down and probably cheat on you, treat you bad,
yeah, because
tell
there's guys
people you're
looking
bad
for
at
that,
things. Veronika Weiss is that girl. I like Veronika Weiss, but Veronika Weiss doesn't like me. Veronika Weiss really doesn't like anybody.
I was going to say, she
Veronika
looks as
Weiss
though she likes herself. That's about it.
Would you let me finish?
You go ahead.
I'm trying to give you background for this match. Veronika Weiss is perpetually single. Doesn't date. Doesn't date guys or girls. She just doesn't date. You know why? Because she's all about herself. And I kind of like that. I really do. She's a fitness fanatic. She's actually competing in fitness competitions. And no, I'm not stalking these two girls. I just did my homework, okay?
I'm going to say, you know a lot about them. I said I didn't have much background with the exception
You
of...
said you knew nothing about girls, and that's true.
Now you're misquoting me,
You've
Mike.
never said truer words in the history of working on a wrestling broadcast than you said when you said you don't know anything about girls.
One thing I will tell you that I do know, the fans are not really looking to support Veronika Weiss.
Well, duh.
Wow! Did you see that? They just slapped her across the...
Oh,
wow, close fist.
She's doing it the Australian way.
Scotty Bowman should be getting in there and trying to break it up, but then again, maybe he's just liking being that close to the action.
She's laying the boots to the other one.
Well, the fans seem to like this one already.
Best match ever, and we haven't even seen much of a match.
Veronika Weiss with a shoulder tackle, pardon me. And now she's on the receiving end of a hip toss and a deep arm drag. And a second arm drag.
Hey, one thing I'm going to say about Tenille Tayla, she positions herself so well in this ring. I don't think there's a position she isn't accustomed to when it comes to being in the ring. She has the middle of the ring, and she's right there and hitting those arm drags.
You know, the innuendos are flying, but...
There is no innuendos. I just said she's always in position.
You said she knows her positions, and I would tend to agree with you. Right now, position that Veronika Weiss is on the floor.
On her back on the floor, I might add.
Both combatants re-entering the ring, and Veronika Weiss is about to receive a drop kick to the face. Hooks the leg.
Veronika Weiss is not going to be as beautiful after that big boot right to the kisser.
Scotty Bowman in there with a 2 count, and now Veronika Weiss looking for higher ground, trying to maybe take another breather as she crawls outside the ring, but a shot to the midsection. Using the middle rope for leverage and advantage.
In that neck breaker.
That is going to leave a mark, I'll tell you that. Tide seems to be...
It's hard for me to watch girls in pain, I've got to be honest.
Why is that?
It just is, you know, like honestly, as much as they're fierce competitors, I want to take nothing away from that. Seeing them down and being beat on, it's really frustrating for me.
Scotty Bowman now trying to break the chokehold. Veronika Weiss is vicious. You are right. She should change her name to Vicious Veronika Weiss, in my opinion. She's not letting up.
There you go, trying to come up with gimmicks for people again. That's why you have so much heat in the back, Dave Thomas.
Well, that is definitely not the case, Mike, but I will say that was a nice backbreaker.
I'm going to say something. I normally point out the flaws in referees, but this Scotty Bowman is a good referee.
Scotty Bowman is one of the top officials here.
And he doesn't get enough credits.
No, you know what?
I would turn down reffing this match because of the potential sexual harassment ramifications. All it takes is the girl to lose to say, well, the ref was trying to hit on me, and then you're fired.
Well, Veronika Weiss using
I've been there, actually.
I'm sure you have. Veronika Weiss using a handful of hair with that toss across the ring, and still taking advantage of Tenille. And
hard to believe a girl would take advantage of someone.
Well, she's about to. Oh, this is old school, Mike. This is old school wrestling. Look at that, utilizing her opponent's arms against herself. You know, referee could go in there and check to see that's a choke into a surfboard-like maneuver, too.
And look at Scotty Bowman is a hell of a referee because he's right down there checking Weiss's shoulders because that could have easily ended in a pin.
Yeah, but look at that. Tenille able to reverse it, and now using Veronika's arms against herself.
Well versed in changing the tide, taking over.
Chain wrestling at its finest.
Chain, yes, definitely chains.
Both these women, I would have to say, oh, big clothesline, are, you know, fairly equally matched, yet from two different parts of the world.
Yes, different parts of the world.
Veronika now upset with Scotty Bowman, saying it should have been a 3 count, but you know, Scotty Bowman was right there in the action, saw that, and now this is going to the good old-fashioned wear-down hold.
She's groping her with that beautiful headlock.
Yeah, and referee should be checking that to make sure there's no choke. Tenille fighting back with some elbows across the ring and takes a boot into a DDT. That could snap your neck in half. And only a 2 count. You know, I thought she might have had it there, Mike, but perhaps maybe didn't get all the DDT.
Maybe she didn't get all that DDT there, Dave Thomas, because she didn't get her there at all. This is always a mistake. I always say this. Going up to anywhere near the top rope, second rope, it's high risk, limited reward.
Dangerous territory in its own right, and wow.
Interesting. I like
the
it.
fans like this. Powerbomb! Now both women are out, but both women's shoulders are down. But I guess neither one of them decisively had the advantage to be considered a pinfall.
Tenille Tayla is very good.
Well, the crowd behind her as
Veronika
well.
Weiss is very good. I like them both.
I can tell. Tenille with a comeback.
I wouldn't turn down either of these.
I don't know if you'd have the opportunity to get to that situation.
Well, we should try.
Vicious clothesline as well.
Oh! And Scotty Bowman didn't even admonish. What is the other word?
He didn't give her crap for it, is what you're trying to say, Mike. That was almost a tornado punch, if you will.
Right to the nose.
Man, back and forth action between these two women.
Admonish.
Yes, we got
admonish.
Admonish, right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I would admonish you, but I can't because...
Admonish,
yes.
Is that the word?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, missed the big leg drop off the top. A la Bulldog Bob Brown in his heyday, but he used to connect. Exactly. Tenille now, it seemed to come. Oh! Reverse neck breaker, hooks the leg. Oh man, I can't believe that these two women are able to kick out of each other's moves like this. This is a match.
It was a jaw dropper for Tenille.
And the crowd really appreciating the effort that both these women are putting forth.
Ow!
Follow-away slam. Didn't quite get all of it, but nonetheless, it had the effect that I think was, at this point, both these women have got to be fatigued.
Tired women are my specialty.
Thanks for informing us about that, Mike.
I mean, I would win a fight with a tired woman is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying I would fight them, but if I had to fight them, I'd want them to be tired is what I'm trying to say.
I have a feeling that if you had to fight either one of these two combatants and they were tired, I still think you'd come out on the short end of the stick.
See, you're picking sides again.
Mike, these two women are professional. Oh!
That's the second kick to the face Tenille's given Veronika. That's it!
And that's what she needed to do to get to victory.
She is sexy. I love it.
What would you say she is, Mike?
Piping hot.
That's what I figured.
The action was piping hot, too. Scotty Bowman's the luckiest guy in the world getting to hold hands with her, too.
At this point in time, I'd say of all the referees, Scotty Bowman was the luckiest one here today.
Grabbing for that hand again.
Veronika Weiss holding her face. That was a devastating kick.
Watch Scotty. I love Scotty. Very on the ball here. Always feed it to both girls. He goes to see the loser, too, and say, hey, if you need my help here, maybe we can go out for a drink later.
Well, you know,
Scotty Bowman knows what he's doing.
Try to show a sign
Now
of
he's saying, hey, I wasn't trying to hit on her. You and I, saying to Tenille, he wants to take her for drinks. He's saying no. Now he's going back for Veronika.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Kenny Rogers when you talk about going for a drink.
See, now you admit it too. For
Tenille.
more on Kenny Rogers and his drinking problem, check out WFXWrestling.com.
With me at this time, backstage, is Prime Cut John Cutler. John, you have a big match coming up with Apoc. That match is next. What are your thoughts?
I got Haas, I got Elgin, and you know what? I'm just a little preoccupied, honestly. I can't deal with this right now. I'm a little pissed off, in fact, but I'll tell you what, Apoc, you better be ready.
Back to ringside.
Well, John Cutler got a lot on his mind and fired up for our cashgoodpointsbad.com main event.
I just got an update. Sorry to digress here. Kevin Chevy is on his way to the local hospital. Apparently that Frankfurt tendon that I talked about may be severed.
Oh my God, that's not good.
You need it to live. Feel bad for him.
Well, we have the best medical professionals on site here at the event center, and obviously have taken him to the hospital for...
He might need a Frankfurt tendon...
a transplant?
Transplant if possible. So if someone has an extra one kicking around. In all seriousness, it sounds like it's a hairline fracture according to our training personnel.
Well, we'll keep you updated here as well as the website.
Thank God it wasn't the Frankfurt tendon that I spoke of, though.
Check out our website for updates, WFXWrestling.com. But to the main event, Mike, we've got a member of the Brotherhood, and this whole faction is bizarre in its own right.
There's
Apoc,
been some cracks in the seams of the Brotherhood, though, and you know, you saw last week Thorn and Gangrel laying out the challenge to Sabu and Bob Holly and then taking it away.
Well, they didn't fight. I mean, they said, let's do it, and they said, forget it.
And I'll tell you, with Sabu and Bob Holly, those are two guys that would not back down.
Well, of course not.
This darkness and supernatural aura that comes with these guys freaks me out. But this APAC fella.
No, it's Apoc.
That's what I said, APAC.
No, Apoc, like apocalypse.
A pack of smokes is what it is.
Nonetheless, John Cutler on the other side of the ring, taking on a member of the Brotherhood.
Not that I'm
Apoc.
condoning smoking, because I think it's gross and it'll kill you.
Yes.
Don't do it, kids.
Sends Cutler in across to the turnbuckle, and, just measuring him with a chop.
John Cutler did say he was preoccupied before this match.
Well, he was approached, as we saw earlier in the program, by Charlie Haas, and, realistically speaking, he does have a lot on his mind, and rightfully so.
Well, because he's sort of been asking Kip for a lot of advice lately.
Wow, what a backdrop.
He sees Kip as a good leader, as someone who can help guide his career. Cutler's had a lot of success in the early going of his career. Cutler needs to go to the next level.
I agree with you, and Charlie Haas maybe saw something in John Cutler that said, you know what? I could mold this kid into a bit of a different light. Maybe turn him into a little bit of a different type of wrestler. Maybe mold him as the way I think.
You see, Michael Elgin seems to have that role with Charlie Haas where he's going to follow him. And I think Charlie's idea of being a leader is finding a flock of followers, guiding them around to do the dirty work, and then having an easy time of it.
Well, Cutler just slingshotting in Apoc, not APAC. And
what's the difference? Honestly, what's the difference?
It's one syllable. Big splash in the corner by...
How is it spelled?
I believe it's A-P-O-C.
Apoc. Or is it a hard A, maybe?
That's a hard neck breaker is what that is from Apoc onto John Cutler.
You've been making fun of me this whole match, and I've had enough of it.
I'm just trying to
Just because I don't understand what his name is.
I'm just trying to correct you. Maybe the Brotherhood has got some sort of spell on you. If you've all of a sudden...
Kind of like the vodka has a spell on Kenny Rogers.
Oh, here we go. Now, seriously, Mike, you got to stop with these accusations on referee Kenny Rogers.
You know what? If you want proof, I'll supply the proof.
Yeah, 40 proof is what you're about to say. I know where this is going. Devastating elbow by Apoc. It goes for the pin, and only a 2 count. And I've said this time and time again, Mike, and I'll continue to say it, especially with a guy like John Cutler. You don't hook the guy's leg, you don't have a chance in pinning him. There's no other way I can stress that enough to these guys.
Who does Apoc look like?
Well, I think he looks a lot like himself. What kind of question is that? What are you referring to? He's a well put together individual. He's got a bit of a height advantage on John Cutler, maybe an inch or two, not a lot. But
I don't think so. I think Cutler's actually taller.
You think so? It's hard to see at this angle.
One bent over. Can't do a height comparison when one guy's staggering in pain.
Oh, drop kick to the face. And why were you asking me about Apoc and who he looks like?
Just wondered who he looked like, that's all.
Wow, Mike, this is Cutler with a spinning heel kick and a back elbow.
Beautiful nip up. Or is it a kip up?
Oh, drop kick
named
to the
after
shin.
the great Kip.
Oh, front-facing slam. Wow, that was face first into the canvas.
He calls that the prime cutter.
Is that what it is? That's
from
the prime cutter?
cut John Cutler.
Wow. Cutler now going up for his finishing maneuver. Apoc able to weasel his way out. Sends him in. Oh, big European uppercut.
Uh-oh.
Cutler trying again.
I'm actually surprised by how Gangrel and Thorn haven't made themselves a part of this match yet.
He got him!
And I'm even more surprised that they let Apoc get pinned without even trying to help him.
I think they've been standing up on the ramp the whole match. I don't think they even...
I said that there was some cracks exposed in the Brotherhood, and they're not much of a unit right now.
Are you thinking maybe Apoc is the weak link? Is that what Gangrel and Thorn are thinking by not even coming to ringside? I think they were standing up on the ramp the entire match.
John Cutler needed that victory, I'll tell you that.
Very impressive victory by John Cutler, and look at this guy, Mike. None of the members of the Brotherhood are even there to support Apoc.
They're not even helping him. They're not even helping him out.
Look at the disgust as they're on the apron, and they walking. Mike, they're walking away without him. They're just leaving him behind.
I think it's an opportunistic relationship. When they need someone to go and beat somebody up, they send Apoc.
Yeah, like abducting Danny Duggan.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, we haven't seen him in some time. Anyway, that was the CashGoodPointsBad.com main event. For more on the company, check out www.wfxwrestling.com. And thank you for watching WFX Overload.